Oh shit, we're going. Shit, we're recording. Okay, so I'm gonna review episode 86 of Dragon Ball Super, and overall thoughts, meh, disappointing, but not as infuriating as some of the other episodes. So I guess I'll start off like on a more positive and happy note and say what I liked about it, and then I'll go into like what I didn't like about the episode. What I did like was, so I like the opening where you see like you see Kami's lookout like move. I think that's actually like a neat little like trick for the lookout to do. I always felt like Kami or whoever the guardian of the earth is should just stay there and be able to see everything because they are the god of the earth. But I'm okay with this too. I think like using his little Namekian language thing, which I think like I had some people reply to me on Twitter. I didn't tweet about the Namekian language thing, but they were saying like, how could that happen if the power pole was in Namekian? The power pole in itself doesn't have to be Namekian. It just has to, like, you can have like a Namekian freaking language commands that you can use to like do stuff like activate the Namekian Dragon Balls or to move, or Dende developed his own technique or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I liked the animation. I liked the visuals. I thought like the sunset was like freaking beautiful, and I liked the nighttime stuff. And I just liked how Goku and Android 17 interacted with one another. The other thing that I liked was, I don't know if I liked it, if I like it yet, but 17 sort of like laid back voice. He sounds like very detached, if you will. Like if you listen to his voice during the Androids arc, and well, really only during the Androids arc, unless it's the Super 17 arc in GT, you can make out that he's a lot more like snobby and cocky. But over here, he doesn't have any of that. He's like a cool guy now. So overall, like I said, the episode was disappointing, but not disappointing in the sense that like I typically mean. It's disappointing in the sense that like it started out strong, and then there were a few things here and there which just irked me too much, that slowly descended this episode into my disappointing category, and I'll explain like what those things were. So the first thing was Goku saying, like, telling Dende, and I tweeted about this, that he's no good at training kids, which I don't know why Yoshitaka Toshio like put that into the script, because one of the things about Goku's character is the fact that he's a student and he becomes a master. Like, he trains Oob, and like the Kanzenban ending in the Dragon Ball manga shows Oob like riding the Kintoun, the flying Nimbus, and then there's like a mirror image of like Goku doing the same, like standing on it instead though. Remember that? Like, him training kids is like a very big part of his character, and the fact that he says, not a very big part, but not like a huge part, like his Saiyan heritage and him killing and him learning how to kill and all that, but it's a character trait that helps to define him. So the fact that he said that he's not good at it is just like another character progression thing. It's kind of like Resurrection F, where they took away Goku, like, oh, I'm not going to kill you because I want to fight you later on, but then he's going to kill Frieza at the end of the movie, right? This is something like that, because unless they change the ending of Dragon Ball Z, he's going to go ahead and train Oob anyway. But the fact that he says he's not good at it is just like dumb, because the fact of the matter is, he trained Gohan better than Piccolo ever did. That's point number one. Point number two, he trained Goten and Trunks in the fusion dance. So the guy is not bad at training kids. So that was a line of dialogue that pissed me off. Then you have like this whole thing where like 17 is fighting Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and I know like fandom is like in an uproar, like, oh, how does this make sense? Power scaling, yada yada yada. Okay, so here's the first thing. First of all, is that Dragon Ball Super does not understand that, at least the anime doesn't really, and I would even say the manga in some aspects doesn't really understand like what power scaling is or how it works. So that is apparent in this episode, but I don't think it's necessarily bad. Okay, so the thing is, like, Android 17 and Goku are going like blow for blow when Goku goes blue mode. The reason why I'm not too like angry over that is because one, it's not like some long drawn out fight. What it is just like it's like a short 10-second scuffle of them like throwing blows. It's like in the case of say like Gohan fighting fighting Buu when he absorbs Gotenks. Remember how at the beginning in the anime, like they were like fighting and they were like throwing blows here and there. Let me see if that actually. I always have this big here. Remember how like Gohan when he Buu when he absorbs Gohan is much stronger than Buu when he absorbs Gotenks, excuse me, is much stronger than Gohan. So it's kind of like that. Let's see. Let me find it. Let me see if I can find the. Okay, here's the Vegito stuff. Okay, I got to the Gohan stuff. Okay, here's the Gohan. Okay, he absorbs Gotenks. Gohan is still, yeah, so Gohan is still, okay, he's sweating actually a little bit. Okay, well, he just absorbed it. Yeah, okay, so that is anime only. Bootanks is like fucking owning him. Okay, yeah, sorry. I just had to make sure that like, but yeah, so that's the thing. Like so the first thing is like they're not going all out. Okay, that somewhat excuses it, but not totally excuses it. Let me give you an example. In the case of Goku and Majin Buu, you know, those were guys who we thought were similar in power, but we obviously know later on that Goku was holding back and could have killed Fat Buu, right? This is something. The reason that worked was because we thought, because you know Goku and Buu were like at that point in the story, we thought that they were like, well, they were like the end all be alls. They were like the omegas of the series at that particular point, and then obviously you know Gotenks, Gohan, Buu, and all that stuff happens later on, and then we can start to properly gauge like how strong Goku is, and I can do like a whole nother Buu arc strength level debate video for like that can be a whole nother video unto itself. What I'm saying here though is that the reason this doesn't necessarily work in the case of Goku and 17 is because Goku and 17 were never like that. 17 was stronger than Goku because Goku was just a regular Super Saiyan back in the Androids arc. Then Goku gets the different stages. He goes to Super Saiyan stage 4 and massively eclipses 17 in power, right? Then he trains for 7 years, gets Super Saiyan 3, then gets God, and then gets Blue. So the thing is that 17 has, I don't want to say he's bridged that gap. Obviously, like 17 says that he can't beat Goku in Blue mode, but the fact that he was even putting up some sort of a resistance doesn't necessarily work. And again, like, and I say doesn't necessarily because, like I said, they said that they were holding back. But honestly, I think that Goku with minimal effort as a Blue should just be like tossing 17 aside. I mean, despite the fact that he's trained for like 7 years passed between Androids and Buu, and now like 5 have, right? 5 plus, so it's like 12 years, 12 plus years. Don't really think that you know he can get to the point where he can trade blows without holding back Super Saiyan Blue Goku when he himself was holding back. So the power scaling doesn't necessarily work, even despite the whole holding back argument that was stated in the episode. But again, like it's not totally bad. Because it was stated that they were holding back, so we're kind of like at a crossroads with that. Like it works, part of it works, another part of it doesn't work. So, but here's the thing: like the reason I'm okay with this is because, or I'm not. I don't want to say okay with this. The reason why I'm not like in an uproar over this is because one, this is probably going to be a filler episode. And if it's a filler episode, then then you know, well, if it's a filler episode, it's not in Toriyama's original script, obviously. But the point being is that, you know, filler by itself, I'm not saying filler excuses the fact, like, it's not that you can write these things because it's filler. What I'm saying is like filler because it's not part of the original story. Like at the end of the day, it kind of like really doesn't matter. So I don't really think that it really matters much, like in the whole scope of things. And besides, this is the anime. They've been doing this, so it's just like you know, it's more shit to like crucify Super for. But and the reason why I think it's filler is because of of the poacher. Like the poacher and his henchmen just don't seem like Toriyama-esque villains. Or well, not necessarily. Well, yeah, I guess they're villains and characters. The fact that there's 2 filler episodes dedicated to Goku and 17 saving animals is just complete. That screams filler, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, so like I was saying, like the fact that they were holding back and that it's a small scuffle, and the fact that this is most likely fillered, doesn't really make me too infuriated, like over the whole I was holding back and so 17 can go and like fight Super Saiyan Blue Goku on somewhat even terms, even though he says that he would have lost in the end. So, but another line of dialogue besides that pissed me off was the Goku, like after he finished fighting 17, he says that he doesn't know that if he could have beaten 17 back in the day, which again is just total bullshit. Because one, if Goku would have fought him as a regular Super Saiyan before doing any of the training with Gohan in the Rosat, the Room of Spirit and Time, the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, yeah, then he would have lost. But because he unlocked Super Saiyan stages 2, 3, and 4, he was massively stronger than 17 at that time. So I don't know why like that line of dialogue is in there. Like I don't know. Like yes, you do know you would have beaten Vegeta as a Super Saiyan Stage 2 was beating on Cell in his second form. So anyway, but here's the other thing. The final thing which I'll say over this for this episode is that the part that made this episode disappointing was that 17 refused to fight for some unknown reason. So people were saying that so like Goku's hiding something, and then Goku tells him. I still don't know why like they're not telling people the fact that the universes are going to be destroyed. It's just a dumb like action on their part. And I'm not saying like dumb like character stupidity or anything. I'm saying from a writing standpoint, it's nonsensical. Like there's no reason not to tell them. But anyway, so he tells 17 that the universes are going to be destroyed. But then 17 says that he's okay with dying if everyone else ups and dies too. But the fact that which makes this stupid is before, when he was talking with Goku about his family, he said that, you know, that was his cherished family. He has a wife and he has a son. Or no, sorry, not a son. He has a child that he stuffed his woman, that his woman gave birth, right? And that 2 of his other children are adopted. Correct? So he has a family, him, his wife, their biological child, and 2 adopted children. And that's his precious family. So he doesn't even want to fight for them. He just wants to up and die for some unknown fucking reason. And like I said, the problem that I've been saying with Toei is the fact that they try to add artificial stakes without thinking things through clearly. And they try to like characterize like characters like in the worst ways. I'm smiling. Oh my god, he's smiling. Even though it's a fight to the death. Oh my god. Ha! It's super retarded shit like that. But this was just dumb. Like 17 refuses to fight to ensure his family's survival, despite calling them his cherished family. So yeah, still, I mean, so I'm not gonna say like it's an outright bad episode. It was a very meh/disappointing episode, but it wasn't as infuriating as some of the episodes that I had seen earlier, like Krillin fighting Gohan and then flying and then using the Taioken, the solar flare, and then beating him. But again, like I said earlier, flying may be allowed in fucking during, in the ring. So flying is just not allowed when you go out of bounds. So that might be the case, but the translation and the subs need to be more clear on that. So yeah. Anyway, tell me guys what you guys thought. Leave your... Wow, I just fixed my camera, but I'm not going to re-record this. Tell me guys what you guys thought about the episode in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.